¿Qué tal, chicos? Hello, Mickey. Hello, Iciar. Do you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, Candela. Hello. Okay, so now you have around 10 minutes to chat among you, okay? 10 minutes, only that. And you have to be prepared. You need your notes before you, your notes, your text part, and your exercise part, okay? Good. Fran, how are you? I'm fine. You, Fran? Mickey, are you well? Are you okay? And your family? Good. Very good. So, around 8 9 minutes, okay? And we start. 8 9 minutes.
Hemos salido nosotros.
A ver cómo lo pones otra vez.
Aquí está. Está fácil. Esta es esta. Está puesto ahí. Ah, lo has quitado. Lo has quitado.
Can you hear me? I'm having some problems, some technical problems with my camera. Hello, Candela Soder. Hello, Mateo. Guille, can you hear me? Hello, Nico. Hello, Victor. Magarena. And there are some technical problems with my camera. Can you see me now? Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So, let's get started. Now we're going to stop your chat, okay? Stop your chat now, and listen to me. So remember, you had to have before you your notes, and we're going to study the Spanish transition to democracy, and this is a period of time, a very recent period of time in the history of our country. Okay, stop. Stop your chat. Okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And this new period began when Spain got rid of the dictatorship and start a new age under democracy. Okay, and this is the Spanish transition to democracy, and this is the period, as you can read there, when Spain left the dictatorship of General Franco and start living under democracy. Okay, you you know that democracy is a system of government by a country under the rule of law. Okay, and the sovereignty resides on the people. Okay, on the people. Now we had a king by then, King Juan Carlos I. You remember that King Juan Carlos I was appointed in 1970 by General Franco. Okay, and that was an interesting thing because the transition to democracy needed a very good agreement between all parties, all political parties, and these parties, these parties reached this agreement in the constitution, and the constitution said, okay, this is the king. It doesn't matter that the person that appointed him was Franco. Now the people will want to referend this choice or not. And there was a referendum, and this referendum was a referendum that said, okay, so our new system of government is a monarchy, but a parliamentary monarchy. What's the difference? The difference is that in a parliamentary monarchy, the king or the queen is like a symbol of the country, a symbol. So he or she can't make laws, can rule the country. This is a symbol, same as the flag, same as the national anthem. Okay, so this is the difference between an absolute monarchy and a parliamentary monarchy. We live under a parliamentary monarchy. Okay, so and this date you have there, this date 1978 is the date when the constitution, the real constitution, the actual constitution, the current constitution was approved first by the people, then by the parliament, and finally was signed by the king. Okay, so King Juan Carlos I was the king under, we were under when the new constitution was approved. And the interesting thing is that by then the prime minister, the premier, was Adolfo Suarez. Adolfo Suarez was a politician that grew up being one of the main leaders of the former movement. Okay, he had some offices under Falange. So many people didn't trust in Adolfo Suarez because of that, but finally he proved himself worth of the task because he was able to meet with all parties, even the Communist Party, and make up important agreements that finally led to the Constitution. Okay, UCD stands for Unión de Centro Democrático. This is a party that doesn't exist anymore. Okay, very good. And in this date, okay, this date, 6th of 1978, the Constitution was approved by a referendum, and things weren't easy at all. Okay, because there were many people in Spain that many of us wanted a new constitution, wanted to live in democracy, but there were many other people that didn't want that. Okay, they were attached to the former regime, okay, and it wasn't easy at all, okay, and it wasn't easy, and you had to remember, you had to know that there was an attempt to a coup d'état, okay, in 1981, if I don't remember badly, okay, and by then this other person here, okay, Leopoldo Calvo Sotelo, belonged to the same party as Adolfo Suarez, was appointed by the parliament the new premier, the new prime minister, okay. But finally, next year, in 1982, a new general election was held, and finally another different party, in this case the Socialist Party, won by a landslide the election, okay. That moment was very important. It was very important for Spain, because many people think that with the victory of the Socialist Party, the Spanish transition to democracy ended, okay, and we start a new age, Very good. So it wasn't easy because there were many problems, okay, and one of them was that, as I mentioned the other day, some groups that were practicing terrorism, right-wing groups and left-wing groups, okay, and they killed a lot of people, especially ETA. ETA was a terrible problem in Spain, because they were first fighting apparently against Franco's system, but then when Franco had died, they start fighting against democracy. Okay, so we don't have to thank ETA for nothing in this country. Okay, so, and I'd like you to see this photo, because this is an iconic photo in Spain. Okay, that photo was taken in the first years of the democracy, and it's an iconic photo because you can see here a child, a kid. Okay, this kid is more or less same age as your parents. Okay, and these people here are same age as me. Okay, and if you see this photo was taken here in Madrid. You see here the child is joyful. Okay, and all people that are demonstrating because they want better living conditions. All people want more freedom, more rights. Okay, this is an iconic photo you can see in many places. And now we can see that Spain, we have a lot of problems. Okay, as everybody knows, we have a lot of problems, but we are living in a democracy. Okay, we need to better this democracy, but we are living in a democracy, which means that the people is in charge. The people is sovereign. The parliament is elected by the people, by the majority of people. Maybe you agree or you don't agree, okay? But you can reverse your decision in the next general election if you want. Okay? This is a trait, this is a feature of our democracy. And we have achieved many rights, okay? So the religious fanaticism that was very important in Franco's time has vanished. For instance, the political violence has vanished totally, and many other rights has been achieved in this period. And good. And here you have the Spain Prime Minister from 1982. Okay, all of them are alive. Leopoldo Calvo Sotelo and Adolfo Suarez died, okay, some time ago. But these 5 people are alive, okay, and these are part of our recent history. Okay, and you know, in order, Felipe González was the prime minister that belonged to the Socialist Party, and he was prime minister from 1982 to 1996, and all of them did many things, many things. The most important thing for me is that in Felipe González times, an impressive economic growth was experienced in Spain. Is important, and not less important is that Spain was able to join the European Union. Okay, the European Union by then wasn't called the European Union. We're going to see that in the next theme. Okay, it was called the Economic. Remember actually, in Spanish we say la Comunidad Económica Europea. Okay, but Spain wanted to belong to the European Union. Okay, from a long time ago, but the European Union said, okay, you can belong to this union because you are not a democracy. You want to be a member of the European Union, you need to live in a democracy, and you are living in a dictatorship. So, when Felipe González was the premier, Spain was able to join the European Union. That was very important. Then we had another president, José María Aznar. Mr. José María Aznar was the new president because he won the general election, and he was the president from 1996 to 2004. And under his rule, the economy improved a lot. Okay, and another important feature of this president is that he strongly supported the United States invasion of Iraq, okay, against the majority of the Spanish opinion. Okay, but this is important because this is a fact by which he will be remembered ever. Then another premier took office, and it was José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero, that belonged to the Socialist Party as well. Okay, and he withdrew the Spanish troop from Iraq, and under his rule, the same-sex marriage was legalized in Spain. Okay, and finally, in the late years of his rule, a new economic crisis took place in the world. Okay, and that caused him his chair, okay, his office. A new president, maybe you know more because it's more recent, is Mr. Mariano Rajoy, that belonged to the Popular Party. José María Aznar belonged to the Popular Party, and Mariano Rajoy belonged to the same party. Popular Party is a right-wing party. Socialist Party is considered a left-right party. So Mariano Rajoy had to cope with the economic crisis in Spain, and under his rule, the Spanish financial system was fixed. Okay, and in his final years, maybe you know about that because it's a problem we still have today. The Catalan Declaration of Independence took place, okay, in 2017. And finally, because of many problems, he was removed from office by a vote of no confidence. And another president, the current president, Mr. Pedro Sánchez, that belonged as well to the Socialist Party, took office. And he was the first prime minister in Spain that took office, was in charge after no confidence motion. Okay, and he won more elections, and the last one took place in the late 2019. Okay, and he's the current president. Good. And another very interesting thing, important thing happened. That was that we had a change of king. Okay, the former king, Juan Carlos I, King Juan Carlos I, was not removed from his crown, but he abdicated in favor of his son. His son is Felipe VI, King Philip VI, and when you were 6, he took office. Okay, and he declared that he wanted a new Spain and a renewed monarchy. Okay, we are going to leave it at that, and now I like you to go to the exercise part. And here you have an interesting cartoon. Okay, I asked you to comment on this cartoon some weeks ago, and this is a German cartoon of the time. Okay, and you can see here, this is very interesting. You can see here a scene in which here there is a girl, a young girl, that represents Spain, and she wants to live in a democracy. Okay, she is young. Okay, she represents Spain, and she wants to go this way, and behind her are some people here that represent the old Spain, and they don't want Spain to go to the path of democracy. And these characters represent characters that were very important in the history of Spain. Look, this one here. Okay, this character stands for the military. Okay, the military, all people used to hold power, want Spain to go to the other way. This other character, take a look, represents Carlists. You remember? The Carlists were people that wanted in the 19th century another different king. They supported the absolute monarchy. They wanted monarchy, but they didn't want Queen Isabella II. They didn't want King Alfonso XII. They didn't want this kind of king. They wanted not a democracy, but a kind of absolute monarchy. They wanted Spain to go the other way. This person here, in the middle, represents this character, represents Falange. Can you see here this symbol? The symbol is the Iron Cross. The Iron Cross was a German and Nazi symbol. Okay, so this is kind of fascist. Okay, Falange, remember, had features that very similar to the fascist party, Nazi parties. Okay, Falange is this character, and he wants Spain to go the other way. This person, maybe it's easy for you to recognize, this is General Franco. General Franco wants Spain to go the other way. Okay. This person here, finishing this part, this person here represents, I don't know exactly, but maybe he represents King Philip II, the most powerful king in Spain ever. Okay, was the king under who the most extended Spanish Empire took place. Okay, this is Philip II. Okay, Philip II doesn't want Spain to go to the path of democracy, and this person here with the Inquisition, okay, represents the church. Okay, and he doesn't want Spain to go to democracy. But the girl, Spain, the young girl, okay, is confident, and he and she want to go to democracy. This is the German cartoon. The important thing is that in this German cartoon is showed that the whole of Europe wanted Spain to go to democracy and join the democratic countries in Europe. Very good. So let's go to the next exercise. 15. Now, I need your contribution here. So pay attention. 15.1. What was the Spanish transition to democracy? What was the Spanish transition to democracy? It was a change, okay? A change from dictatorship to democracy. Democracy, okay. 15.2. You got to name two people who were important in the political transition and say why. There were many people, okay, with names. Although the most important factor was the general people in Spain, the Spanish people. But there were some politicians that were instrumental and were very important. So two people could be the king, okay, the King Juan Carlos I. You can say the king, and you can say Premier Adolfo Suarez. You can say many other people. You can say Felipe González. You can say Santiago Carrillo. You can say Jordi Pujol. Many other people, okay, politicians. But as they were important, they were very important as well. The Spanish people in general. Okay. Good. Now, Franco died. I'm seeing. I think it's Silvia. Franco died in 1975. Okay. Good. Good. Very good. Very good. Now, 15.3. Say two reasons why the Spanish transition to democracy was a difficult period. Why? Two reasons. Two reasons. Okay, you're right. Two reasons. One of them is that there was a very severe economic crisis. One of them. And another very important in Spain was that there were many groups, not only ETA. ETA was the most dangerous group. But not only ETA, there were many groups that belonged to the far right. They were killing a lot of people, especially young people, students, lawyers that belonged to the Communist Party. Okay, so were political violence and economic crisis. Now, 23F. What happened there? 23F. 1981. What happened there? What happened there? In 23 February. What happened? Was on that date there was an attempt to a coup d'etat. Okay, so there was a very difficult situation in which military that belonged to the Guardia Civil entered the Congress and start with a lot of troops and start shooting inside the parliament. Okay, and he wanted Spain to return to dictatorship. Okay, but the King Juan Carlos I didn't give his support. Okay, nor the Spanish people. And finally, say three things about the. This is a mistake of mine. Okay, not 1878 but 19. This is a mistake of mine. Okay, three things. One is that this is a democratic constitution. A second thing is that it's a constitution that wants rights for the Spanish people in general. And third thing could be that this is a constitution that was achieved without a war in Spain. Okay, peacefully. Okay, although there were many groups that were practicing terrorism. Very good. Now let's move to the exercise 16. Say who. So 16.1. Now, waiting. So, who was the prime minister when Spain joined the European Community? Pedro Sánchez, Felipe González, José María Aznar, Mariano Rajoy. 16-1. Who was the prime minister then when Spain joined the European Community? Good. The correct answer is B. Felipe González. Okay. Now, let's move to the next exercise. 16-2. Who was the prime minister when Spain supported the United States invasion of Iraq? José María Aznar, Mariano Rajoy, José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero, Adolfo Suárez. Yes. So, José María Aznar was the premier at the time. Now, next question. 16-3. Who was the prime minister who fixed the Spanish financial system after the economic crisis that took place in 2008? And we can choose between Leopoldo Calvo Sotelo, remember, José María Aznar, Pedro Sánchez, Mariano Rajoy. Leopoldo Calvo Sotelo belonged to a party that was called UCD, okay? But he had died at the time, so it can be José María Aznar, impossible, okay? Pedro Sánchez is the current prime minister, impossible. So the only one that can be right is Mariano Rajoy. So, good. Next, we're finishing this part. So, who was the prime minister when Spain legalized the same-sex marriage? Felipe VI? Impossible. Felipe VI is the king, not the prime minister. José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero? Maybe. Adolfo Suárez? Impossible, because Adolfo Suárez had died at the time. Mariano Rajoy? No, Mariano Rajoy fought against this idea. So the correct answer is B, José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero. And finally, who was the first Spanish prime minister who took office after, not before, after a motion of no confidence? You're right. So Pedro Sánchez. Okay? Pedro Sánchez. Very good. So now for next day you had to be prepared and you had to write some words, some lines about our current king, Felipe VI. Very good. So now I want to move to another different stage in our class because there are some interesting works that were made by some of you, and there is one of them about a prominent Spanish writer who was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. This is a work that has been made by Artai, okay, and I want to, okay, good. Oh, sorry. This is Camilo José Cela, okay, and I want you to read this thing that Artai put here, okay. You know that Artai, that is a boy we love a lot, okay. Our mate belongs to a Galician family. He's a Galician boy, and Galician people have a very interesting sense of humor, and this is a proof, okay. Camilo José Cela was born in Iria Flavia, Padrón, okay, the same name, Padrón, Iria Flavia, the same name. And here you can read, some are spicy, others aren't, okay. That means, tú sabes que en Padrón es famoso por muchísimas cosas, famous for many things, but one of the things are the peppers, and they say some of them are spicy, others aren't, okay. So to understand, Galician people is very clever, okay. To understand their sense of humor, you need to be as clever as them, okay. and many times it's not easy. Good. So this is Camilo José Cela, and these are some features about his life. So he was a child that was rebel. He was fired from different institutes. Okay. Don't follow his example. Okay. And he was a very an interesting author, and he started writing when he was just a young man. Okay, he was a student of Pedro Salinas. You remember Pedro Salinas is an author that belonged to the generation of 27. Okay, Alonso Zamora Vicente was the president of the Spanish Academy of Language. Good. And his work comprises many books. Okay, he was a novelist, not a poet at all, not a playwright. No, he was just a novelist, and he was a writer, and he was able to write for a special editorial. I don't know the name in English in this case. Okay, and he was not a politician. He wasn't a politician, so Ortega is not right here. He was appointed senator by the king, and maybe you can say, okay, this can't be because you are saying that Spain is a democracy. The king can't appoint any senator. Yes, but first, before the general election, to make a new constitution, we needed a senate. Okay, and some of these senators were appointed by the king. One of them was Camilo José Cela. Okay, and he took care of the good reading of the constitution. Okay, with good Spanish grammar. Very good. And in the dictatorship, he was a censor. He was a person that was doing this work, this part of this film, this part of this book is against our ideas, okay, Francoist ideas. So this can't be. Okay, that's true about Camilo José Cela. And some of the novels have this title. You are too young to read this novel. Many of them, especially this one, La Familia de Pascual Duarte, is very hard to read. Okay, there are some films. There is a film about Familia de Pascual Duarte. Okay, it was made by a filmmaker called Pilar Miró. La Colmena, another interesting film. Mazurca para dos muertos, La Cruz de San Andrés are some of their titles. Okay, and many other things. Okay, and travel books. Okay. Viaje a la Alcarria. Alcarria is a region that is located in Guadalajara province. Okay, very near Madrid, and you can go there. And you read this book. You're going to know many little towns there. Brihuega, many. I can remember Brihuega, Torija, Trijueque. Okay, they are little towns today, even today. Okay, good. Okay, this is Familia Pascual Duarte, La Colmena, Viaje a Alcarria. Good, very good. And he was awarded with some prizes, the Nobel Prize of Literature. Okay, so we want to be proud of Camilo José Cela. I got to know him. And he was awarded the Premio Cervantes. Okay, this is given in Alcalá de Henares, as you know. Very good. Now let's move to another interesting work. This is a work that was made by Fran. Okay, Miró. Miró is now. Okay, so Miró was a surrealist painter. Okay, and he was very famous because he was able to paint like a child. You look any of his paintings, it seems that were made by a child, by a kid. Okay, and maybe you can recognize some of his style inside our school. Okay, inside our school there is a mural with paintings following the style of Miró. Okay, very good. So he was born as he was a Catalan person, Catalan artist who was born there, okay, in Barcelona. Okay, and here you have some of your paintings. Okay, can you see this style is like a child's style? Okay, Carnaval de Arlequín. Okay, Arlequín is a character, maybe it's this one. This is dressed up with many colors. Okay, this is the carnival. Can you see the feast here? Okay, good. La Casa de la Palmera. This is the real house, and this is the portrait. This is how Miró sees this house. Okay, like a child. These are cats. These are cats. Good. Another painting is that interior holandés. I don't know why. In this case, La Masia. You know, Masia is the name that in Catalonia, Catalan people give to these manor houses, the field where many people live that are working there in agriculture. Okay, and he worked with ceramics. Maybe you can recognize this particular building. This is in Madrid. Okay, this is in the shore of Castellana Street. Okay, was made by Miró. Beautiful. Okay, the same, but in this case in the Netherlands. Okay, it's a mosaic and some sculptures. Okay, in Barcelona and Madrid, Mujer y Pájaro. This is the bird. Okay, and this is the woman. Good. Even in Tokyo, you can see. Can you see this style? It's a surrealist. Surrealist is a movement, remember, that is based on the realm of dreams. Okay, or engravings. Okay, interesting. You can try his style this time. Okay. Not only did Fram a work about Miró, also Rodrigo did it. Okay, these are some more paintings by Miró. Okay, La Bailarina. I can't see her. Okay, you have to have a lot of imagination. Oro Azul, maybe because of the yellow and because of this blue color. Good. This is Miró. You like him? Tres Liebres. How to find them? I'm not able to. A Térmita. La Menina. This is easier to recognize. Okay? You remember Las Meninas by Velázquez in the Prado Museum? Okay? It's beautiful. And this is a symbol of Spain. The symbol of Spain is that, okay, that was made by Miró. I have more things for you, and I have here last work is about Maruja Mayo. Maruja Mayo was an artist, Spanish artist, a woman. Okay, this work has been made by Pablo. Okay, Maruja Mayo. Here you have some traits, some features of her life. Galician and surrealist painter. Okay, and she belonged to the generation of 27. Okay, she had a very interesting life. She traveled to Paris. She got to know to Dalí, Alberti, Lorca, Zambrano. Is Maria Zambrano. Maria Zambrano is another interesting Spanish woman. Okay, that lived into exile in Switzerland. Okay, and was awarded the Cervantes Prize. Good, and I didn't know that, but Pablo says that she had a relationship with Miguel Hernández, a very interesting poet. Okay, then in the next class in mathematics, I'm going to read you a poem by Miguel Hernandez. Good, good. And here you have some interesting paintings. Okay, Tierra y Excremento here. Okay, can you see? Here, La Verbena is a feast with people that are dancing here. She lived in America, in Mexico. Okay. This is the style of Diego Rivera. Okay, same style. Here you have kermés. Kermés is a kind of feast. Okay, where people dance, where people sing, eat. Okay. This particular painting is called Sorpresa de Trigo. Okay, this can't be real. It's a dream. So this is the mark of surrealism. And the same this part. Okay, Canto de Espigas. A very good work, Pablo. Thank you. Now more works by Maruja Mayo. So figures. Can you see this portrait? Okay, cabeza de mujer. Okay, naturaleza viva. Interesting. More paintings. A very good composition. So congratulations. Interesting. And thanks for your attention. This is for Pablo and for you. And we are finishing now. Okay, and take a rest. And in just I don't know, 5 minutes more or less, we're going to follow our class. In this case, about maths. Okay, so until then.